So, ladies and gentlemen, the life of a pro hockey player can take interesting turns. If I told you this skater was on a Stanley Cup winner one year and within a few months later was on the worst expansion team of the modern era, what would you think? Well, you probably can guess. Today we're going to be talking about the pride of Victoria, BC, the very, very impressive 6'1", 200-pound left winger, Bruce Cowick. Now, Robert Bruce Cowick, again, born August 18th, 1951 in Victoria, played parts of 3 seasons in the NHL with the Flyers, the Capitals, and the Blues. Now, he first came to major prominence with the Victoria Cougars of the BCHL as an undrafted entry to pro hockey. His last big season was with Victoria in 71, where he had 75 points in 47 games, including 31 goals. Not scared to take a penalty, ladies and gentlemen. Not scared to mess it up when need be. 72 and 73, he found himself with the San Diego Gulls of the WHO. Best campaign was 73 with 30 points in 61 games. Now, the 74 season was kind of weird. Let me explain this a little bit. He played with the Richmond Robins the majority of the season, scoring 14 goals in 68 games. He also played in 5 playoff games, including a goal and assist in 2 contests, but found himself called up for the 74 Stanley Cup playoffs due to injury requirements, and he helped them win the Stanley Cup. Now, you think with that he would have a long possibility of a career with Flyers? No. He was left exposed for the 74 NHL expansion draft and was claimed by the Washington Capitals. Now, that season with Washington, he had 5 goals and 6 assists for 11 points in 65 games with a minus 43 ranking, which doesn't seem to be too impressive, but considering the fact some players that played that year less games with a higher plus minus, you know what I'm talking about. Now, in 1976 season, he found himself with the Providence Reds of the AHL with 9 points in 38 games, and had 5 games in the St. Louis Blues later that season. Now, Cowick got one major in the playoffs in 74, which really stood out because at the time that was the peak of the Broad Street Bullies style. Now, when he retired from professional hockey, he decided to go into law enforcement and became a respected police officer in the Victoria Force. So you never know where hockey's going to take you. Find NHL totals, 11 points in 70 regular season games, including 5 goals, and in the playoffs, of course, 8 games in that Road to the Cup of 1974. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he's the only player in the NHL history, I think besides him and Simon Nollet, to go from a championship team to a pure 1970 expansion team in the next year, to my knowledge. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong here. So it's pretty bizarre. Like, Cowick was known for his goal scoring. He proved that in Victoria. But I still don't understand why he wasn't drafted. It makes absolutely no sense because that 1971 season, but the BCHL considered right now Junior A or Junior Tier 2, and but an outstanding player, good fluid player. I saw him play in the playoffs in that 74 campaign, and like I said, he was a role player. And he did what was required, and let me tell you something. Beating Atlanta, the Rangers, and Boston back to back, they needed toughness, and that's what Cowick provided. So that's the many lives of Bruce Cowick, Stanley Cup champion. Thanks for listening.